Jabari Walker signed a two-way contract with the Sixers a couple days ago. I was on vacation, so I couldn't react right away. So here's my video. He's adding much needed depth at the power forward position. Tony Jones posted, LOL, Jabari Walker on a two-way is insane. I keep chuckling just thinking about it. If people like him have to take two-ways, it's time for the league to expand. Just tons of analysts saying this is a steal, which leads to the question, how on earth did he not get at least a minimum contract from some team? So let's start out with my theories. Number one, his three-point shooting has been very inconsistent so far throughout his career. Let me read you his numbers year by year. 28% on 1 attempt per game, 29% on 1.9 attempts, and then last season 38.9%, but once again, just 1.2 attempts per game. With that low of volume, defenses have no respect when he's stretching the floor. Definitely a step in the right direction, shooting 38% last season, but still, defenses are not sold on him as a shooter. He's hot and cold from deep overall. It seems one way he can take that next step and become a more reliable rotational player is upping that three-point volume, but also maintaining the efficiency. And so far, he's not been able to do that. Number two is lack of athleticism, speed, and size for the front court position in the modern NBA. On ESPN, he's listed at 6'7". However, I've seen him listed at 6'8", even 6'9", so who knows? I think he seems taller than what he actually is because he has a near 7-foot wingspan and he rebounds everything and plays more like a center than a 3 or 4 in the modern NBA. And with the Blazers, he was strictly a power forward or center and more of a 5 as his career went on in Portland. I think this Reddit comment explains one of his main issues thus far perfectly throughout his young career. In today's game, he doesn't really have a position because he's too small to play center full-time and too slow to play the 4 full-time. So he's a good energy guy off the bench, but that's pretty much it. His perimeter defense, guarding in space, and rotating when the defense is broken down has been an issue for him on the defensive end of the floor. And on both offense and defense, he really does his work around the rim. That's where you get value from him. And creating offense in a pinch off the dribble, if needed, is basically non-existent from him. He's basically just a catch-and-shoot player or a play finisher because of his lack of burst off the dribble. Hence why upping his volume from deep could really help out a ton offensively for him. If you watch his highlights, you can definitely see he plays under the rim most of the time rather than above it. It turns out he played 23 minutes in 2023 and averaged 2.1 offensive rebounds per game. He's constantly crashing the glass, constantly seeking out body contact to try to get a loose ball or poke it loose on an offensive rebound, just consistently trying to get second opportunities for he himself or his teammates. This post made me want to look deeper into the advanced stats. Blazers Banter posted extremely limited minutes, but Jabari Walker had the highest on-off differential on the Blazers last year per cleaning the glass. So last season, he only averaged 12.5 minutes per game, which means his first two lineups are basically garbage time lineups. You see that Banton, Murray, Rupert, Reith, those are bench guys, 45 minutes. That's his most played lineup last season. And then the next one is Banton, Murray, Rupert, and Klingon. Klingon was a rotational piece, but still, those are mostly garbage time minutes, or it was late in the season and they were just looking to lose. Here's a great sign for the Sixers. When he was put next to their better players, he seemed to have great results impact-wise as a connected piece. Kamara, Simon, Sharp, Scoot Henderson. In 27 minutes, that lineup had a plus 13.5 net rating. 107.3 defensive rating along with 120.8 offensive rating. The next lineup was Scoot Henderson, Grant, Klingon, and Murray, and that lineup had a plus 17 net rating. The next one looked more like a garbage time lineup, but then you see Kamara, Sharp, Scoot Henderson, and Jeremy Grant for 17 minutes of plus 31.5, and that's him at the 5 position. Again, another undersized lineup here. Kamara, Simon, Sharp, and Grant, he's playing the center position, 17 minutes plus 21.2 net rating. Like I said, when he was put next to the better players, they got great results according to the advanced numbers. Also, he's a guy you can rely on to make a pass. Even some tough passes you see in the highlights. His assist to turnover ratio isn't anything special, but for his role, since he's mostly a play finisher, it's good to see these highlights where he's just snapping the ball through gaps, making the quick decision, and keeping the offense flowing. So basically what he's going to bring is number one, hustle on both ends of the floor. And then his main thing is just rebounding the basketball. When he played 23 minutes a night, he was averaging 7+ rebounds per game. It seems like he's the type of player to always be in the right spots and not get in anyone's way. But I also think because he doesn't do anything flashy, a lot of times he's going to feel invisible. The role's pretty clear for him offensively. Crash the offensive glass, play the short corner, sit in the corner and hit an occasional three-pointer. And if he's ever not in those positions, he's going to be setting a screen for the ball handler. Now, the reason he was able to up that three-point percentage last season is because he improved as a corner three-point shooter. As a rookie, he shot 14.3% from the corner. Next season, he upped it to 29.9%. while also upping the volume. And then this year, all of a sudden, he was a 48.6% shooter from the corner. Hopefully he can keep that up because I feel like his ideal role and where he's going to be getting most of his three-pointers with the Sixers is in the corner. And that would make him more dynamic in the short corner because every now and again he can just drift out to the corner and make the defense pay. And that's really where you're going to get the most value out of him in terms of being a floor spacer. It's a solid signing, nothing flashy, nothing crazy, but he definitely has potential to grow into a rotational piece on this team, in my opinion, and he fills a big need, aka rebounding the damn basketball. Also, getting him on a two-way contract, it's like, come on now. Of course we're going to take that chance. And honestly, I believe one of the reasons he probably chose the Sixers is because it's a very good situation for him. There's a lot of opportunity, it seems, at that number 4 position because there's not a clear starter. Maybe that's why he took the two-way contract. Maybe another team was offering him a minimum, but it was a more crowded power forward room with established NBA players. Definitely still need a starting power forward. I have been begging for them to sign Trey Lyles. Just reminds me of Nick Batum. Can shoot the 3-ball. I don't think it's going to happen. They don't really seem interested. But supposedly they have been linked to Chris Boucher. He's older. He can shoot the 3-ball, so he definitely brings a different dynamic compared to Wofford and Jabari Walker for sure. Wouldn't mind him, but again, I think he's more of a off-the-bench type player. Trey Lyles, for me, just brings a mature presence to that starting lineup, and I think he would be good next to Maxey, Embiid, and Paul George. That's all I got, though. Let me know your thoughts below.